Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Reviews, and boy, am I excited to be talking about this movie. So, let's not waste any time. You guys have heard of R.L. Stine, right? R.L. Stine, he's the author of the Goosebumps books, and also had a little bit of involvement with the Goosebumps TV show. I mean, the TV show is based off the book, so... Anyways, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite movies, R.L. Stine's The Haunting Hour. Words cannot describe how much I have a nostalgia for this movie. This was one of my favorite movies growing up. I saw it... Actually, no, I can't say that because I don't remember. I don't even know, if it was me or if my parents saw the cover and we were just like, hey, that looks like a fun movie to pick up for, our son. Or I was like, Mom, can you pick me up? So, R.L. Stine's The Haunting Hour. So, I religiously watched the shit out of this movie. It came out in 2007, and it premiered on Cartoon Network, I think, or maybe another network, I don't know. But regardless, this is a made-for-TV, feature-length, Goosebumps type movie. It's made by R.L. Stine. And I don't know if he wrote it or if he... No, he did write it. I don't know if he, I don't know what kind of involvement he had other than that, but this is definitely Goosebumps inspired. You could see the patterns in the movie, which I really like. I grew up watching Goosebumps, so watching this movie was like, oh man, this is the closest thing we got to a Goosebumps movie until the Jack Black Goosebumps movie, which I may cover at some point. Those movies are fun. Kind of mad they only did 2 of those. Anyways, getting off track. R.L. Stine's Haunting Hour. So it's about this 13-year-old goth girl who's played by Hannah Montana. What? Yeah, Emily Osment. Crazy, right? So her and her little brother Max move into this new neighborhood, and it's Halloween. And she makes a wish that she wants to scare her brother because, her brother is pretty annoying. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Max is scared of pretty much everything, and at times he can be pretty annoying. If you guys have seen Temple of Doom, Max gives me Willy vibes from Temple of Doom, where it's just constant whining, constantly scared of everything, but in kid form, because Willy was like an adult woman. This is a young child. So not really comparable, just more so how they act. Anyways, so she makes a wish that she could scare him because he annoys her, and he's scared of everything. And one day when she's going out for a walk, she finds this Halloween store with none other than Topin Bell as the store clerk. He gives her a book called The Evil Thing, and on Halloween night she reads the book, and the book comes to life because she read it out loud. There's a warning on the front page saying, do not read the book out loud, which she does because she's trying to scare him. And the evil thing comes to life and kidnaps the younger brother as well as a few other characters, and they have to save the day. Her and this, her crush from school, which is this guy, Sean, who is my favorite character in the movie, but I digress. So, what do I like about this movie? First off, this is a kid's movie. This is PG, right? PG, yes. I love it when a movie, kids movie especially, has dramatic moments like this. I'm a big horror fan, and I love the fact that this is a kids movie with balls. It is not afraid to go dark, and it's not afraid to show you that there is some serious shit at play. I love that. I love the fact that this movie kind of embraces that. It's there's some thematic elements going on here. People could die, and I love that. I mean, I want that to happen. I'm just I love the fact that by letting a kids movie get away with that, by letting it go as dark as it could with a PG rating and being horror related, it's it allows the writer to, kind of do whatever they want, without pushing the limits of PG-13 or whatever. But what I like about this movie is that there's dark elements, but there is a sense of hope in it. I don't know how to really explain it. I think what really works for me in this movie is the dynamic between our main girl, Cassie, and Max. because when we're first introduced to them, they hate each other. Max is a little whiny little kid. I mean, no shade on the kid. He's scared, you know. But maybe he's a little too scared of everything. Like, he's afraid of a video game with squirrels. But I like the relationship that he has with Cassie, because even though they kind of like are at each other's throats throughout the majority of the film, towards the end you really do feel that sibling relationship. And I do like that there's a theme in the movie of, like, you know, it's kind of both of them learning how to deal with each other, even though towards the end they don't really spend a lot of on-screen time together. Like, the brother gets kidnapped, but Cassie kind of has to learn to love her brother. Like she loves him, but she doesn't show that love. And I like towards the end, the love interest, Sean, he's kind of like, you know, why do you hate your brother so much? And she's like, because he annoys me. And you know, throughout the film, you're kind of like, yeah, he's kind of a little annoying. He's scared of everything, but he's just a kid, right? So when you watch it, and when our character Sean here says that, it's like, yeah, why do you find him annoying? It's like, he's just a little kid. Like, he's your brother. Like, you love your brother, but you don't show that love, or at the very least, you have a weird way of expressing that. So I like that there's that theme in the movie of, like, you know, you may be different and weird, but that's okay. You got to just kind of learn to, like, love them, like, for who they are. And that's what I like about Sean's character. He is absolutely my favorite character in the movie, because there's one scene where Cassie gets bullied at school because it's a new school, and this girl who's just totally obnoxious, totally Disney Channel, Disney XD villain. She bullies her for being new and, you know, a goth girl, and yeah, being new to school. And everyone starts laughing, which, like, it's not funny what happens in the scene, but everyone just start bawling. But Sean is the only one that kind of is like, that's not funny. And I like that. And later, he stands up for what's right. It's like, you know, you may think this person's weird, or kind of like, and, you know, we've all been there. There's been weird figures or people that, you know, to us, we're kind of like, oh, that's a little strange. Their hobbies or interests are a little different from ours. But, like, Sean's like, you know what? Stay weird. Like, you know, be yourself. And I like that. That's the whole theme of the movie, which I don't know, it just kind of tugs at the heartstrings for me. I don't, maybe I'm reading too deep into it for a kid's movie that's Goosebumps oriented, but I do like how there's themes for this that kids can relate to, because I'm sure every kid at some point probably had to move at some point. I never had that, I never had to move, but I always kind of feared that, like, we would move, so I definitely understand for people who do move, especially younger kids, they probably can relate to Cassie and Max, because it's like, you know, you're moving into a new town, you know, you don't have that many you have to kind of reintroduce yourself to new people, and it can be weird because, you know, you might have different interests or hobbies, and it's weird fitting in, but as long as you be yourself, like, eventually you'll find that crowd. And it doesn't matter if you're not accepted at first, because it's like, okay, they're lost. They don't know you for who you are, but, you know, that's their loss. And I like that this movie has those themes, because, again, maybe I'm reading too deep into it. I just love that this movie does have those kinds of themes. But going back onto, like, the movie and the story, you know, this is a horror kids movie. This is Goosebumps inspired, R.L. Stine. So, of course, there's twists and there's, you know, spooky monsters. First of all, this is a made-for-TV movie, so the performances are, like, you know, they're fine. They are what they are. You know, they're not Oscar-worthy, but I like the chemistry between the characters, and I think all the actors, for the most part, do a good job. Who is the actress who plays? Is it this one? Yeah, Brittany Elizabeth Curran. I'm bad at pronouncing names. But, yeah, she was good, but there are some parts where, and this isn't, like, her fault. I'm mainly going off of, like, you know, this is a made-for-TV movie, so the directing was probably, like, you know, be over the top, and she's an over-the-top bully. I was about to say villain, but she's not really a villain, because the villain is the evil thing. Which, on the notion of the evil thing, when you see the evil thing, it looks fucking wicked. I love the creature design. I love the fact that it's practical, too. It's not CGI. You see the evil thing do several cool stuff, and I love that. I love how in-depth they go with the creature design. It's really cool. I really like it. And The other thing too that I like about it is that, like, again, it does kind of play into the theme of, like, like being afraid. It's a pretty horrific monster. Like, even Cassie's afraid, even though she's kind of like goth and she's like into the dark and macabre. It's like, yeah, even she's afraid. This thing is fucking terrifying. I'd be scared. I was scared when I saw this film as a kid. You have no idea. But I watched it because I loved it. I was like, yes, this movie's fucking incredible. And like I said, it has good themes, and I think that the characters work really well for me. Sean, in particular, is just kind of the voice of reason. Like, he's a little dumb and ditzy in some areas, which I love, because there's one part where he literally, like, figures out what they need to do to defeat this thing, which is not a spoiler. That's, like, towards the end, but not, like at the end. You get what I'm saying. And he kind of is, like, impressed with himself. He, like, says, okay, so here's the plan. Here's what you need to do. And then Cassie's character says, that's really smart. And he's like, I know. I don't know what's gotten into me. And I love that. I love how it's like, he's calling himself an idiot, but, like, he's smarter than he thinks he is, which, again, goes back into the theme of, like, just be yourself. Don't, like, don't put yourself down, be who you are, but also don't be afraid to, like, accept people for who they are. It's like, I don't know, it works for me. I love the chemistry between Cassie and Sean. It's not romantic. I mean, obviously she has a crush on him, but it's more like a friendship. And by the end, it really tugs at the heartstrings. I like that. If I had to complain, because if I'm going non-biased here, yeah, the acting's a little corny. It's it's made for TV. It's what it is. Even though the evil thing is cool and it's, an animatronic and you get to see cool puppeteering, they do hide, like, you never really get a good look at it. Like, they hide it in certain shots, which I'm fine with. And I want to also kind of mention that, it does take a little while for the evil thing to show up in the movie. I'd say it's about, like, 40 minutes in until it shows up, but that's fine. I like the fact that it takes its time building up the events that take place. And the movie's also really funny. But I feel like that the type of humor that this movie has is not going to work for everyone. It worked for me, but I could definitely so see it not working for other people. So I guess that kind of is another issue I would probably have if I wasn't so biased, because I love this movie. So, Tobin Bell is the best actor in the movie, by the way. I just want to get that out of the way. Tobin Bell chews the scenery. Every scene he's in, he chews the scenery. I love Tobin Bell, man. I'm so glad he's in this. This might have been the first Tobin Bell, like, movie I think I saw him in. Like, because I didn't watch Saw when I was younger for obvious reasons. But then I was much older and I was like, oh yeah, that's Tobin Bell. I know that guy. He's from The Haunting Hour, which is funny because this came out, like, in 2007, so Saw 4 would have been out. Yeah, Saw 4, no less. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Let's see, anything else? Oh yeah, this movie takes place on Halloween. Love the October atmosphere. Love the soundtrack. I love the morals. I love the themes. I love the characters. It's got a spooky, haunting atmosphere. I mean, it's called The Haunting Hour, so what do you expect? It has a good message for kids. It has some dark moments for kids, but I like the fact that it doesn't sugarcoat it or try to, say, like, like, this is scary. The things that are happening in life are scary, and we need to face our fears. I like that. So if you can get past some annoying characters like Max or whatever, and some other, Disney Channel stuff, like, I think this is a fun film, and I think you're gonna like it. I'm gonna go ahead and give it okay, this is a biased rating, guys. I want that to be clear. This is a biased rating. I'm gonna give it an A+. It's very biased, okay? I love this film. Holds a special place in my heart. I think I'm gonna review another R.L. Stine movie. One that just came out. Yeah, that sounds good.